Welcome back, deep divers. This is going to be a fun one. We're diving into a topic today that's pretty close to my heart, actually. Um, the White Ferns' recent T20 World Cup victory.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at two really great articles, one from Radio New Zealand and the other from One News. And we'll try to understand how this went. It goes way beyond just sports.
Absolutely.
It touches on like the financial realities, the rise of all this incredible new talent, and well, honestly, how this kind of victory can inspire like a whole new generation of athletes.
It's been amazing to see this win spark such a wide-ranging conversation. It's really got people talking.
It has. So, okay, for anyone who might have like missed the news or whatever, the White Ferns, that's our New Zealand women's cricket team, just won their very first T20 World Cup title.
Huge.
Huge. And they did it by beating South Africa in the final. What a game.
I know. And this victory actually puts them in a really elite group, joining those cricketing powerhouses Australia and England as the only nations to have ever won both the ODI and T20 Women's World Cups.
Wow.
Pretty impressive.
That's incredible. And what's really amazing is, their path to that final game. It wasn't easy. They were actually on a 10-game losing streak going into the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Can you believe that? So what changed? Did the articles give us any insight into that turnaround?
Well, both articles actually pointed to the mix of really experienced veterans and this fresh new talent, and how that really was like a defining factor in their success. It seems like the veterans kind of took the newer players under their wings,
Right.
They really fostered this supportive, encouraging team environment, and I think you can really feel that team spirit throughout the entire tournament.
Yeah, totally. And the One News article even called out a few players specifically, like Georgia Plimmer, Izzy Gaze, Fran Jonas, and Eden Carson.
Oh, right.
And these players, they're all in their early 20s, which just amazing to me. It really wasn't a one-woman show at all. This was a team effort.
Absolutely. And it really speaks to, the growth and the depth of women's cricket here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
These young athletes are fearless, they're innovative, and their passion for the game is just contagious.
Right. And, their amazing performance, it's not just about the trophy, right? It actually translates to a pretty sweet financial windfall, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So winning this World Cup came with a hefty paycheck. We're talking more than double the prize money of the previous tournament, with a total prize pool of $12.85 million.
Wow.
I know.
That's incredible.
So each White Ferns player actually receives $205,000.
Wow. So that's actually more than the maximum annual salary of $163,246 under their New Zealand cricket contracts, right?
Exactly.
So some of these players are making more from this one tournament win than a whole year of playing professionally.
It's crazy. And it really, underscores that this isn't just a win, it's a recognition of the financial value that these athletes bring to the sport. And it makes you think about the broader impact on their lives, their careers.
No doubt.
Yeah.
This win is a big step toward closing that gender pay gap we see in sports. And it wasn't so long ago either. I mean, it was only in 2022 that New Zealand cricket finally made equal pay for men and women. And that was at both the international and domestic levels.
It's about time.
It really is. And this win, the prize money, it all represents a huge step toward the International Cricket Council's goal of pay parity in cricket between the men's and women's game.
It's a really powerful statement. But, as fantastic as the financial recognition is, I feel like this win, it represents something even bigger, don't you?
100%. At its heart, this is about inspiring the next generation of players. Jess Davidson, she's New Zealand cricket's head of female engagement, she was quoted saying that this win will have a big impact for girls coming through in this sport.
Absolutely. There's just something so powerful about seeing these athletes, especially the younger ones, achieving at this level and being financially rewarded for it. It sets a new standard.
It does. This victory, it just reinforces this message that women's sports are just as valuable, just as exciting, and just as deserving of our investment as men's sports.
And it seems like New Zealand cricket is really taking that message to heart. They've already got those girls-only programs, and they're pushing hard to encourage even wider participation in the sport.
Oh, and don't forget, women's cricket will be in the 2028 Olympics. The future's looking pretty bright.
Speaking of bright futures, can we just take a moment for Amelia Kerr?
Oh, yes.
This woman is incredible. She's officially a record breaker. She became the most successful bowler in women's T20 World Cup history with 15 wickets.
That's amazing. She actually beat out England's Anya Shrubsole and Australia's Megan Schutt to get that title.
Yeah, and it's these individual stories, these moments of brilliance woven into the team's overall success that really seem to resonate with those young athletes, you know?
I agree.
It's fascinating to see how this win speaks to like this larger shift in how we view women's sports in general. What are your thoughts on that?
It's an interesting point and definitely something worth exploring further. For so long, women's sports have existed in the shadows of men's sports, receiving less funding, way less media coverage, and honestly, just less respect overall.
Yeah, it's a sad reality and one that unfortunately so many female athletes have had to deal with. But this White Ferns victory, it feels different, you know? Do you think this could be a turning point?
I think it really could be. We're seeing this global shift in how women's sports are seen and valued. And this win, I think it's a perfect example of that shift actually happening. For years, it felt like the story was always about women fighting for scraps, scraps of funding, scraps of media attention. But now we're seeing this generation of athletes just demanding and actually earning their rightful place on the world stage.
And they're doing it with such incredible skill and athleticism. Like, it's not just about participation anymore. This is about absolutely dominating the competition.
Exactly. And I think that's what's really capturing everyone's attention. It's not enough to just be good anymore. These women, they're breaking records left and right, defying expectations, and they're doing it with a style and flair that's exciting to watch. They're captivating audiences all over the world.
And that's translating into real, measurable change. We're seeing more money being invested in women's sports, bigger and better sponsorship deals, and finally, the kind of media coverage that they've always deserved.
It's like a snowball effect, right? The more successful they are, the more visible they become, and that attracts more investment, more support, which just leads to even more success. It's this amazing cycle.
And it's just awesome to see it gaining momentum. And I think it's so important to highlight that this shift, this change, it's not just about the money, although, of course, that's a really crucial part of it. It's about recognizing these athletes, these amazing women, for their incredible talent and dedication, for what they bring to the world of sports, you know?
100%. This is about building a culture of respect and equality and making sure everyone has the opportunity to succeed, not just in sports, but in every aspect of life. It's about finally breaking down those barriers that have held women back for far too long.
Absolutely. So, thinking about this win for the White Ferns and all the other successes we're seeing in women's sports around the world, what kind of impact do you think this is having on the next generation of athletes?
I think it's incredibly powerful what's happening right now. We have this whole new generation of girls growing up with a totally different set of expectations, a completely different view of what's possible for them. They see these incredible athletes like the White Ferns achieving their dreams, and they think, hey, I can do that too.
These athletes are more than just role models. They're pioneers. They're breaking down walls and creating a better future for everyone.
Totally. They're changing the whole definition of what it means to be a female athlete. And by doing that, they're showing a whole generation of young girls that they can dream bigger, push harder, and never settle for anything less.
It's not about trying to be like the men anymore. It's about celebrating the unique skills and perspectives that women bring to their sport.
That's such a good point. And you see it so clearly with the White Ferns. Their success isn't about copying a more traditionally masculine style of play at all. It's about owning their own strengths
Uh,
and excelling in their own way. Like, they're known for their amazing strategic bowling, how crazy fast they are between wickets, their fielding is out of this world. Those are things that are just as exciting and worth celebrating as any massive six hit by a male cricketer.
And for a young girl to see that, to realize that her unique style and skills are valued and celebrated, it's huge.
It's massive. It tells them that they don't have to fit into some predefined box to be great. Be yourself, embrace what makes you unique. That's how you find success.
Love that. And this shift, this recognition that women's sports are just as valuable and entertaining as men's sports, it's not just limited to cricket, is it? We're seeing it everywhere. Tennis, soccer, basketball.
It's a global phenomenon. And it's about time, to be honest. For way too long, women's sports have been ignored and undervalued, pushed aside. But that's changing, and it's so exciting to see.
It's not about comparing women's sports to men's sports anymore. It's about appreciating them for what they are. Thrilling, competitive, and so inspiring.
Yes, finally. It's time to recognize the hard work, the dedication, the raw talent of these athletes.
You know, it's interesting to think about this win for the White Ferns in the context of New Zealand's sporting history as a whole.
How so?
Well, we're a pretty small country, but we have this incredible track record of outperforming expectations on the world stage. And a lot of times, it's our female athletes who are leading the charge.
That's so true. Who comes to mind?
Well, there's our national rugby team, the Black Ferns.
Right. They're amazing.
They are amazing. They've been a dominant force in women's rugby for years, consistently beating the competition on the world stage.
People forget how consistently they've dominated that sport.
I know, and we can't forget about all of our incredible female athletes who are killing it in individual sports, like Lydia Ko in golf, Zoe Sadowski-Synnott in snowboarding, and Lisa Carrington in kayaking.
Legends, all of them.
Total legends. These women are icons. They are paving the way for generations to come, showing them what's possible with dedication and hard work.
There's something about that Kiwi spirit, that determination to succeed, that really shines through with our female athletes, don't you think?
I love that. And it's so inspiring to see their success inspiring others. There are more and more young girls in New Zealand who are looking at these incredible athletes and realizing that they can have a future in sports, that they can achieve their dreams too.
It's about breaking down those old limiting beliefs and realizing that anything is possible.
Absolutely. It's about rewriting the narrative and creating a future where anything is possible if you set your mind to it. So where do we go from here? What does the future hold for the White Ferns and for women's sports in general?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm feeling really optimistic. I think we're at a turning point.
Oh, I love hearing that. Tell me more.
I think this is just the beginning. We're seeing a real shift in how women's sports are perceived, funded, celebrated, the whole 9 yards. This White Ferns victory, this feels different. It feels like a turning point, like the start of something really big.
I'm with you there. And honestly, I don't think this is the last we've seen of this White Ferns team. They're young, they're hungry, and they know how to win now. What do you think this win means for their future? What's next for them?
The sky's the limit, really. With the right support, the resources they need, and this newfound confidence. I wouldn't be surprised to see them dominating international cricket for years to come. This could be huge for them.
And it's not just about the White Ferns, right? It's about what their success means for women's sports in general. When these amazing athletes succeed, it inspires a whole new generation. It creates this ripple effect that goes way beyond the sport itself.
Exactly. It's like a catalyst for change,
Yes.
a beacon of hope for all those young athletes out there, a powerful reminder that anything is possible if you work hard and believe in yourself.
It's about changing the narrative, smashing those glass ceilings, and creating a future where young girls can dream big and chase those athletic dreams without any limitations. No more holding back.
It's about time. For way too long, women's sports have been pushed aside, told to wait their turn. But those days are over. It's not about comparing them to men's sports anymore. It's about appreciating them for what they are. Thrilling, competitive, just as deserving of our attention and support.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that diversity of talent, those unique playing styles, those fresh perspectives, they make the whole sporting world a more exciting and interesting place.
100%. And that's what makes this such an incredible time to be following women's sports. We're seeing a real shift in thinking, a cultural awakening that has the power to change not just sports, but society as a whole.
I love that. And I think that's the perfect place to wrap up this deep dive. It's been inspiring. We've gone from the excitement of the White Ferns victory to the financial realities of women's sports, all the way to this global conversation about equality and breaking down barriers. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling really hopeful about the future.
Me too. It's been a real pleasure unpacking all of this with you. The future of women's sports is brighter than ever, and I, for one, can't wait to see what these incredible athletes do next.
Me neither. And for everyone listening, we'll leave you with this. What can you do to support women's sports? How can you be a part of this incredible wave of change? Keep talking about it, keep cheering these amazing athletes on, and never, ever underestimate the power of a level playing field. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking those tough questions, and keep diving deep.